Hey kids, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We're back with the Ibanez 4-string bass on the bench. This is part two. I'm going to catch you up on what we did and where we're at right now. Remember, we put new tuners in it. That was in the first video, and we kind of took this apart and cleaned it up. I have not tested these yet, and I should have. I rewired it. I just couldn't. There was just a hodgepodge mess in there. So, yeah, I put a big orange cap on there, orange drop. Put two new pots. The output jack is working. I cleaned up all the wiring. I took the pickups out and made sure that, you know, there wasn't any kind of boogery going on down in there. And so far, everything's working well. I got it, at least now. We got two good pots, and the wiring is sorted. We may run into weirdness when we get to this, but right now we're just going to cleaning, and that's the stage that we're at, which is, many of you have seen this. You know what it is. We have to clean the guitar now. I mean, there's places where I did clean, like around here where, you know, I had the pots out, so I cleaned all that up. When I had the tuners out and fixing that up, I cleaned all the headstock up. Now it's time to do the frets, and yeah, I'm not going to show you the entire process, but you get the gist of it. We're just using a 600 or 800 Scotch-Brite. We're not fret dressing. We're just taking years of tarnish and gook off of these frets. They're in horrible condition. I don't know what we're going to run into when it comes time to string it up. We'll find out as far as high frets and what have you, but we're just trying to clean them up. You know, we can't leave it like that. I'm going to get these polished as much as I can this way, and then I'm going to oil the fretboard because, yeah, well, damn, it needs it. And we'll continue on with restring and setup after that. I don't know what we're going to find at this juncture. You know, it started out as, you know, the customer gave it to me and said, can you just put new tuners, restring it, and set it up? Well, it's filthy. That was a gooked up mess. The wiring was absolutely unacceptable. So that's what brought us to part two today. So stand by while I clean up the frets and oil the board. We'll be right back for restring and setup. All right, kids, we're back. We're putting the last string on it. Now you can see that I finished polishing the frets, kind of cleaned them up, and I oiled the board because we're doing a setup on it, and that's part of my setup. I'm getting ready to put the last string on. And then we're going to go to measure and stuff and see where our setup is going to be, because it's necessary. One more, yeah. Yeah, starting to look like a bass guitar again. I don't have any clue where any of the measurements are. I just don't know. There were so many other things that I had to pay attention to get to this juncture, as you all saw. I did tighten up the neck bolts, and of course we put new tuners in it, as I said. I cleaned up the bridge off camera. I checked all the saddle screws. They're all loose because I put a little lube in them the other day when I took it apart. But let's get on to it. The first things first is let's tune it to pitch, right? Make sure we have the right tension on the neck. I can almost guarantee you that, yeah, I hear settling. That's our new tuners that we put in. They're finding home. New tuning machines. All right, that's up to tension enough that I'm really curious where our neck relief is. All the same rules apply, of course, whether you're working on a bass or a guitar. A little bit better into the video. Yeah, there's enough space there to drive a truck through. A visual look down the neck is probably going to look like a banana, which it does. So we're going to have to tighten up here. Right. Going to assume a 4mm. Ooh, really tight. I'm going to take some tension off of these strings because I do need to straighten the neck quite a bit, and I want to put at least a good half a turn on that truss rod. And I'm hoping it's not frozen. Oh, she's turning. That was about a quarter of a turn. Wow, that thing is really giving me a hard time. Yeah, she's really tight. I think we got a good turn on it. I'm hoping that gave us what we need. We'll find out here pretty quickly. If I didn't get enough, we could be taking the neck off and pressing it. But I haven't had to do that in a long time. Let's just eyeball it first. Oh, we definitely got some movement on it. And the survey says, yep. She was fighting me, but we definitely got a good turn on it, and it's definitely reading 12 thousandths, and that's where I need to be to continue the setup on it. That's for my saddle. Don't think I need that again. So, it's holding tune pretty good. Staying in tune. This could be the next problem because the saddles look pretty low already. How far off are we? Yep, a lot. A lot on the low E anyway. I wonder why the low E. I don't think I'm going to get enough, but we may have to put a shim in the neck on this thing. That's what I was afraid of. These guitars that have been left to languish for a long period of time, the wood will do some weird things. I got to get this saddle down to an acceptable amount. I think the rest of them will fall right in line, but I'm worried about the low E. In fact, I'm going to get it all the way down and see what it says. I'll be surprised if we get enough adjustment out of it. Let's check that one first. I can get it down to 6 or 7/64, I'll be happy because that's playable. It was way too high. Oh, Yahtzee. I can live with that. It's right at 6. I'm just going to put a little bit of tension on the screws. I think the rest of the saddles will come into line. I just want to put a little tension so that they don't try to back out on their own. Now, where was the rest of it? We're going to do each one individually now. So we're at just over 6/64 on the low E. You can come up slightly on the A to make it equal. And I'm going to call that a win. Now it's way low. Guess I went too far. I'd like to see them all around 6, and I think we're going to be okay. We're going to, yeah, perfect. I just want them to be level. That's what I really got to eyeball now. Tune it back up, double check, make sure, because when you're adjusting them and you go out of pitch, when you tune it back up, they could change slightly, so you want to double check your work. And then make sure that your saddles are nice and level to the deck. You don't want any of them cockeyed one way or the other. As level as you can eyeball it. There's no measurement for that. You just measure it across. But if you see one side of the saddle is too high, well, lower it and start that measurement all over again. All things being equal, you do equal turns on both sides, right? And one last check. 6/64. 6, 6, Yahtzee. All right, let's check our intonation. 6, yeah, you could go 5. You could go 4 if your bass will handle it. You can. Some basses, I have a bass that will only play correctly at 7/64, which, by the way, is the standard measurement is 7/64. But if I can get it to play at 6, that's what I aim for. Yeah, fella. Where are we? Oh, I like that. I'm looking at my tuner up here, by the way. It's all the way up on the wall. Oh man, the intonation is dead on balls accurate. It's an industry term. Look it up. Oh man, somebody got the intonation right. So everything's working well there. I just got to figure out how to get his knobs back on, because I don't think these knobs are going to agree with the pots that I put in there, which kind of surprises me. They were metric. I might have to just tighten these down slightly, but I am digging everything about it now. The setup came right together. It was really mechanical stuff and electrical stuff that we had to deal with and get straightened out for him. And yeah, plus it was dirtier than a shithouse rat. was a good guess on the pickups. I had the pickups out, so I was guessing at where to put them. Not like that. No, that one's too far down. I like that. That one's got to come up, if it will. All there is some styrofoam in there and foam rubber, and it seemed like it was still had some sponge to it, but sometimes that's as good as you can get it. Let's plug it in and see what it sounds like. I think she's done. I think she's done. I haven't played on a video in a hot minute, so let's do it. Let's see what it says. Am I over here? Nope. Get around here. There we go. If you plug it in, Luch. Let's go. How about a little more juice? Very nice. Yeah, I think once this thing gets going through a full bass rig, he's going to be pleasantly pleased with what he has. All right, what's going on with my camera? There we go. I'm digging on it. We're all done too. Last thing I have to do is I'm going to figure out how to put the knobs on it. I might have some other knobs that fit better with those because, you know, we rewired it and it's got new pots in it. Pretty well digging it. I think he'll be fine. I think it's going to play and it's going to rock on. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your comments. I appreciate all your support. Anything that you have a question about, please send it over. I try to read them all. I try to respond in a timely fashion. If you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and please share.